On Fox Sports Chicago, it's the Illinois High School Association Class AA Baseball Championship, featuring the Tigers of Edwardsville High School against the Thunderbolts of Andrew High. IHSA Baseball is brought to you by Country Companies. When it matters most, the country's behind you. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And welcome to Elstrom Stadium, normally the home of the Kane County Cougars of the minor leagues. Tonight is the IHSA Class AA baseball side. Along with Dave Otto, I'm Mike Lederman. Dave, a beautiful night for baseball, a beautiful night for history. If you are Edwardsville, this is a team 39-0 coming into the tournament, Dave, trying to become the first Class AA team to go through the entire season undefeated.
Mike, in Edwardsville, Coach Tom Pyle, a hard-nosed coach for the Edwardsville Tigers, and their players are hard-nosed too, so look for a good ball game out of them tonight.
Well, take a look at the number 3 batter, Chad Opel. He is the shortstop, only 5'9". He can play like a guy 6'8", Dave?
Yeah, and you know what? At shortstop, he really sticks his nose in on ground balls, and he makes things happen offensively. Got a big knock earlier in the semifinal game for Edwardsville.
Well, Edwardsville, as we said, undefeated coming in. The competition formidable. Andrew High School won the state championship back in 1992. Of course, Dave, they didn't have the same players then as they do now, but they did have the same coach, Frank Ganser, and he is extremely experienced and a good coaching staff.
Mike, they had a tough go of it against Barrington earlier in the day, and look for Rhett Dwyer to have a big game. He is really swinging the bat good, and he's got big league bloodlines, and Jim Dwyer, who played a bunch of years in the large league.
And you probably got him out several times.
No, he's old.
Okay, let's check in now, and we'll introduce both teams to you with our public address announcer, Kevin Gannon.
And now let's meet the players and coaches for the championship game. First, for the visiting team, the Tigers of Edwardsville High School, who entered the game with a record of 39 wins and 0 losses. Please meet head coach Tom Pyle, who has a career record of 566 wins and 159 losses for a 21-year career. Please meet assistant coaches. Number 14, Ben Shashak. Number 26, Mike Waldo. Number 41, Daryl Butler. And number 14, Jason Ports. The trainer, Billy Joe Brockhouse. The non-starters, number 2, Tim Hansel. Number 3, Ben Hutton. Number 7, Ryan Peterson. Number 10, Brad Grodefont. Number 12, Mike Harris. Number 17, Bill Flowers. Number 18, Corey Kuba. Number 28, Robert Cohn. Number 30, Jeff Ritchie. Number 31, Chris Johnson. Number 33, Ben Hosto. And number 44, Travis Riggs. Let's meet the starters for the Tigers. Leading things off, playing center field, number 11, Dave Crothers. Batting second, playing third base, number 6, Matt Bogle. Batting third, at shortstop, number 1, Chad Opel. Cleanup hitter, left fielder, number 24, Nick Siebert. Batting fifth, first baseman, number 22, Matt Evers. Batting sixth, Pitcher, number 20, James Hutton. In the 7th spot, DH, number 21, Matt Turner. Turner will bat for catcher, number 15, Joe Fisher. Batting 8th, playing second base, number 4, Andrew Honiger. And batting 9th, playing right field, number 18, Justin Kuba. Let me introduce number 9, Justin Hampson. For the home team, the Thunderbolts of Andrew High School. Who entered the game with a record of 35 wins and 3 losses. Please meet head coach Frank Ganser, who has a career record of 458 wins and 182 losses for a career of 20 years. Please meet assistant coaches, number 21, Bob Gilland, number 17, Rich Stockwell, number 15, Jeff Newman, and number 6, Roy Bullard. Non-starters for the Thunderbolts, number 8, Tom Jones, number 13, Tim Kablusik, number 14, Dan Callahan, number 15, Chris Capadonna, number 17, Matt Eichhorn, number 18, Bob Walla, number 21, Dan Borelli, number 24, Dan Gomez, number 30, Chris Strelo, number 37, Mark Delkowski, number 39, Scott Naraki, and number 45, Jeremy Prisbolo. And now the starters for Andrew. Leading things off, playing right field, number 23, Tim Kozlowski. Batting second and playing second base, number 3, C.J. Hunt. Batting third and catching, number 4, Nick Kresniak. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 5, Rhett Dwyer. Batting fifth, DH, number 44, Brett Pignatello. Pignatello is batting for pitcher, number 20, Keith Naraki. Batting sixth, playing third base, number 11, Nathan Wright. Batting seventh, left fielder, number 9, Garrett Jones. In the 8th spot for the Thunderbolts, shortstop, number 22, Todd Kozlowski. Batting ninth, center fielder, number 12, Jared Howard. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you now to stand, face the colors.
We'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening pitch right after these messages. There's the scene at Elstrom Stadium here in Geneva, Illinois. Also roaming the sidelines for us tonight, we are honored to have our own Fox Sports Chicago's Brandon Ahmad Thompson right there.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike, and I'll be here in the stadium all day to show you what kind of intensity is here in the stadium. I'm going to be all over talking to fans, everybody. Back to you up there, Mike.
All right, and if Michael Jordan shows up, you're the one who interviews him, okay?
All right.
All right. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, the batting order for Edwardsville with Dave Crothers leading off, followed by Matt Bogle, Chad Opel. In the number 3 slot, the cleanup batter is Nick Seibert, the left fielder. Matt Evers had a grand slam in the quarterfinals, bats 5th. James Hutton, the pitcher, 6th, followed by Matt Turner, Andrew Hunniger, and Corey Kuba, the right fielder. And this is a lineup that hits about 364. Actually, both these teams are in that 360 range. There you see Andrew High School taking the field, led by their pitcher, Keith Naraki. And defensively for the T-Bolts, they set up this way. The outfield left to right. Garrett Jones, Howard, and Tim Kozlowski. Twin brother Todd is at short with Wright and Hunt and Dwyer. The rest of the infield, Tresniak, an outstanding junior catcher, and the pitcher, number 20, Keith Naraki. If his arm holds up, he is certainly formidable. He is 15-1 for the season, an ERA you see just over 2. But Dave Otto, he has pitched 2 complete games already this week, including a quarterfinal 6th inning. Well, actually, he won 6 of the 7 innings yesterday. And the question is, how much does he have left?
Mike, I think that's the key to this game tonight, how well the pitching staff from both sides holds up, because these guys are tired. But at this point, it is all adrenaline, and it looks like Naraki, just in warm-ups, has got pretty good stuff. So I'm sure Coach Ganger is going to ride him as long as he can.
The weather, well, it could not be better. Right there, 76 degrees. You see how still the flag is in center field. Humidity a very comfortable 22%. And the forecast, well, just the way I like it, cloudy and warm, so you see a little bit of the sky. The umpires, we've got a 6-man crew led by home plate umpire Brad Stearns of Springfield at first base, Bob Rowett of Milan, Tom Sternquist at second, Rich Panovich at third. The outfield umpires down the right field line, Greg Couch of Bolingbrook, and the left field foul line umpire Jeff Carr of Rockford. So we will be well officiated tonight as Dave Crothers steps in, and you've got to love the helmets. They are Tigers through and through, and there you see them. And look at those numbers on Crothers, 45 hitter with 12 doubles, a triple, a home run, 23 runs batted in. The first pitch in there, strike one outside corner.
Yeah, that sets the tempo early. Fastball away, and it looks like the umpire behind the plate is giving a little bit on that outside corner.
Missed there. Naraki, 6'2", 180-pound senior. Crothers, 6'2", 180-pound senior. Again, missing the outside, 2-1.
Coach Pyle made the comment that Crothers is probably their top hitter, and he's a big guy, but he stands low in a low crouch.
Has the count to his advantage here. And Naraki missing 3-1.
You know, throughout this tournament, I'm amazed at some of these pitchers that they will go to the 2-1 breaking ball, the 3-1 breaking ball. They have confidence in it to throw for strikes.
It's going to be great having you here as always, Dave, because I need some perspective on pitching. Pitching to aluminum bats. The 3-1 in the dirt. And the first batter of the ball game draws a walk, and right away Frank Ganser is not happy with that as your pitcher starts walking batters first shot out of the box.
When you throw to aluminum bats, Mike, you just chuck and duck.
That's it. There's no such thing as hitting one off the handle. Here's Matt Bogle, had a key sacrifice bunt against Simeon in the semifinals. Did I say Simeon? I guess against, against Simeon. A tough 4-1 win for Edwardsville. The city of the Public League champions did very, very well in this tournament, finishing 4th. That one on the outside corner, strike one.
You really got to tip your cap to Leroy Franklin and Simeon. They did a great job against Edwardsville. They hung in there. Harrison, Mr. Harrison for Simeon, threw an outstanding ball game for them.
Had a no-hitter through 5. And only 3 hits total, but 4 runs, helped by a couple of Simeon errors in the 6th inning. Got him here. Good sacrifice bunt. It will move the runner. As Milwaukee throws over to the second baseman covering, and so the sacrifice works. Crothers on to second base.
That's one thing that Coach Pyle strongly believes in. Lay down some bunts, make things happen, and force Andrew to make the plays.
And a man who can make Andrew make plays here is Chad Opel, the shortstop. At 5'9", he's hitting .444 with 12 doubles, 6 triples, 5 homers, leads the team with 42 runs batted in. And he is a senior. One away, runner on second. Again, the outside corner, this time with the off-speed pitch.
In high school, Mike, if you can get that hammer over, you're going to have a ton of success. Especially 0-1, and I like what Naraki did there. He just flipped it up.
Well, right away, Tom Pyle is having a conversation here with the plate umpire, and your guess is as good as mine as to what this is about. Two veterans right there with Brad Stearns. Pyle, 21 years at the same location, and Tom's not going away. Oh, now he's got his answer. Yeah. Okay. You see his hat's got the Tigers logo there, as well as Attitude, the IHSA Attitude logo. Now he's set. Never a dull moment with this man. He's all quotes. First team. 0-1. Right there again, this time the fastball.
I think Coach Pyle still thinks he's playing. He's got his batting glove on his left hand.
Thinks he's Michael Jackson.
But that is all superstition. He put that glove on one time. He forgot he had it on, and they scored 5 runs. And ever since, for the last couple of years, he's wearing that glove.
Dave, that was 1982. Here's a little flip out to short. Going to be a tough play. Good throw, but too late. As Todd Kozlowski came in, charged the ball, and had underspin on it. And the runner on second had to hold up, which for Andrew was about the only good part of the play.
That was good base running by Carruthers. No, Kozlowski gets right on this ball. He charges it. A jam sandwich. Kozlowski did a good job charging it, got rid of it in time. But I'll tell you what, Opel flat out flew down the line, and he's got a knock, and we got action in the first.
One away, first and second, the first hit of the ball game, such as it is. And here is Nick Seibert, the left fielder. As they say, good opportunities here. And once again, the outside corner, 0-1. Seibert, also smallish, 5'10", 165, but nothing small about an average of .422 and 7 home runs, leading the team in homers. One away, first and second, just the start of things here, the Class AA championships. And the shortstop, Kozlowski, bluffing the runner back.
Mike, you never want to get in a jam right out of the gate, but if you get in this jam and you get out of the jam, then all of a sudden you find your rhythm and it helps your confidence.
The 0-1. Well, Milwaukee painting that outside corner, and Seibert in the hole here. I love those helmets, don't I? I'm going to ask him if we can get one. Give one to Chet.
Would you expect anything less with Coach Pyle at the helm?
I think Chet would look good through the game room there. 0-2 pitch, and just what you don't want to do. There was a question whether it hit him. There was no question. Seibert could barely make it down first base. He had a knot in his leg.
You know, it's a good idea, Naraki. 0-2, you got to come up and in, but you don't want to go down because it's difficult to get out of the way of that pitch. You really want to throw something right under their armpit and get them off the plate.
And now the batter is Matt Evers, and all Matt Evers did in the quarterfinal with the bases loaded was park one over the center field fence. So we're going to have a conference here. As Seibert is getting that exercise.
Yeah, the Rockies got a decision. It looks like he's going to go out at a stretch. But in this situation, Mike, I don't know. You want to find your rhythm as quick as you can, and sometimes it's better to throw out of the windup with the bases juiced.
Well, there are Evers' numbers now. The home run in that quarterfinal against Oak Park River Forest, turned that game around from a 4-1, 4-2 lead for Oak Park. It ended up 14-4 for Edwardsville. Bases loaded, one away. And again, the Rockies is doing well getting that first pitch strike over. Problem has been later on in the count.
Yeah, 0-2, you have a decision. Now he hit that last batter. You may want to go 0-2, go right after the hitter. Now he's ahead 0-1 here.
Infield a double play, depth, third baseman up a little bit.
That was a hanger.
Evers knew he would love that back again.
You only get a couple pitches in and at bat. And his eyes got all wide. He had a good cut at it. He stayed back.
So did Tresniak's. Boy, the catcher looked like a balloon coming up there. 0-2 pitch, he got it. Big strikeout of a major batter. First strikeout.
That was a gutsy pitch. And the last time Rocky had 0-2, he went in. He decided this time to go away and just painted the outside corner. Emergency hack, and he almost foul-tipped it, but that's all you can do in that situation.
An emergency hack. We've got a new lexicon here. We'll have something by the fifth. Here's James Hutton, the opposing pitcher, can help himself. Has most of the year, batting .364. Two away now, and this is going to do it. He's going to get a couple in. Center field, one run is home, and the center fielder boots the ball. Runners go and hold up first and second, but 2 RBI for James Hutton, first 2 of the ball game, and Edwardsville out in front in the first inning. Naraki almost pulled it off.
Got a pitch up in the zone and did a good job. You know, right off the bench, first pitch fastball, pitcher flips it in there, Naraki, and he drives in 2 runs. Brothers and Opal score, and we got action again.
Here's Matt Turner. Turner takes a strike. Turner at .293, 3 doubles, 6 homers, and 23 runs batted in. Runners on first and second, Seibert and James Hutton. And right in there again.
Well, that time the Rocky really got on top and pulled down on that breaking ball.
Edwardsville 2. Andrew nothing. Top of the first. Just laid off that one. 1-2. Frank Ganser, 20 years at Andrew High School. Tough play by the third baseman, right, and he throws it away. 1 run is in. As Seibert comes around limping, but he comes around nonetheless on the error on the throw by Nate Wright.
Got in on him a little bit and just hammered it right into the ground. And Nate Wright doesn't make a real good throw. Had a little more time, but in that situation with men on first and second, Rhett Dwyer has got to get in front of that and try and prevent that run from scoring. Seibert scored easily.
Hutton goes over to third on the error, and it's 3-0. And here is the 8th man to bat, Andy Honegger, the second baseman. Runner takes off for second base, and the throw down. And they've got him hung up. They've got to watch the man at third. Here's a beautiful piece of baseball strategy right here. What do? You let him go back to first. Because you had Turner, and they were also looking at Hutton. And in the end, everybody's safe, but the run does not score.
You know, you want the out, but again, you don't want to turn this into a 4-0 ball game early. Andrew worked that play to perfection earlier today against Barrington. They got a taste of their own medicine.
And he goes again, and this time they throw down the third, and they've got the runner in a run down here, and he will be tagged out. So the pitcher Hutton tagged out at third. 1-2, 5-2, and we will be back. Top of the first inning. Edwardsville's got 3. All right, the T-Bulls will get a chance here against Edwardsville's Tigers. Edwardsville spotting them with 3 at the top of the inning. they're going to have to go some against this power pack lineup. Tim Kozlowski leads it off, followed by C.J. Hunt, the second baseman. Tresniak, the catcher. Rhett Dwyer at 467, the cleanup batter. Brett Pignatello, Nathan Wright, the third baseman. Garrett Jones, Todd Kozlowski, and Jared Howard batting ninth. And in the middle of that conference is James Hutton. He's already helped himself with a 2-run single in the top of the inning. Hutton 7-0. Well, all the pitchers on Edwardsville are 0 because they have not been defeated this year. 7-0 and an ERA under a run. The defense, it is solid. Bogle, Opal, Andrew Honegger at second, Matt Evers at first. The infield, the outfield, Seibert, Crothers, who can catch him in center, and Corey Kuba. The catcher is Joe Fisher, on the first pitch inside to Tim Kozlowski. Kozlowski, 170-pound senior. Those are his numbers. And Hutton misses again. It's 2-0. Both these teams, as any situation would be in this tournament, are short pitching. Because you have played, again, you played the sectional final earlier in the week. You've had the quarterfinal yesterday, the semifinal this morning, and here you are, your third game in about 30 hours. 3-1.
And coaches really, both Coach Ganser and Coach Pyle, have got to be aware of that, and they've got to look for signs that a pitcher is tiring.
Good pitch on 3-1. Hutton coming with the fastball, counts full. Kozlowski, his first year on the varsity, didn't play last year. Worked himself into the lineup at right field. There's a shot down to left field. Clean single for Tim Kozlowski.
On 3-1 right there, you're just looking for a pitch right down central, and he really stuck his nose on this, and Kozlowski hammered a ball to left field. Look at his head straight down on that ball.
Here's Hunt, the second baseman. C.J. batting 402. Second on the team, 5 hits.
Kozlowski and Hunt are the table setters here, Mike, because then the big boys getting up. You don't want Tresniak, Dwyer, and Pignatello to hurt you.
Ooh.
And if you got guys on base.
Oh, those are some 3, 4, and 5 guys. We'll tell you more about them when you see them. Close play at first base. Throughout this tournament, I must say, David, we have seen many misplays on pickoffs and attempted steals. The fielding has been very, very loose. And a lot of the coaches are just telling their players, don't throw it. But then Frank Ganser said, hey, you know, as did Tom Pyle, we're playing like we played all year.
And I think that's why you see some of these first and third plays, and you see a lot of bunts, because you really want to put pressure on the defense and make them throw the ball around.
There's Joe Fisher, senior catcher. Little hummer inside, I think.
I think it's a pickoff.
There you go again.
Anytime the catcher with his signs right there, he goes 5 and then the flip, that usually means to throw over. And that all comes from the dugout. And Mike Waldo calls all the signs, the pitching coach for Edwardsville.
And the Bluffs doesn't go, and this one's fouled back here. You're going to have to tell me what the sign for the brushback is.
That's
it's
just
great. It's great to have a pitcher here. You know, you learn all those things. What's the sign for loading them up? You know, Emery ball. Geez, you are invaluable, Dave. 1-1 pitch outside, ball 2. Mike Liederman, Dave Otto, Dave Turner, and our Fox Sports Chicago crew in the truck. And our ace spotter, Hank Lundeen, the man from Moline. Again, they go over to first base. A nice lead over there by Tim Kozlowski.
That was 5 in the thumb flip. That's the sign.
Two 2-1. Takes something off, and it's high.
The way Hutton sets up in his stretch, it looks like he's going to come from down under, but he stays on top. He's got a funky delivery.
The 3-1, there goes the runner, and this one's into right field. Deep, deep, deep over Koopa's head. Runner around third, he will score. Around second comes Hunt. He will go into third. And Andrew has struck back. Kuba just kept going back. And this ball was tagged because there was no wind to help it.
3-1, threw him a cookie, and boy, C.J. Hunt really drove that ball to right field. No chance for the right fielder. Kozlowski scores easily. So look for, I'm calling an offensive night.
I think there are greater risks than the one you've just taken, Dave Otto, you know. Interesting about these teams, both these teams use the whole field. They will go opposite way. Right there, he was, you know, going there with power, and thank the bat as well as the batter.
You know, that's what's really impressed me up to this point. All these kids stay back and try and shoot it the other way.
Here's Tresniak, the catcher. And this one has popped up. Second baseman, Honegger. 2 out. 1 out. And here is Rhett Dwyer, who has got muscles on muscles. He's 6'3", he's 210 pounds, and he likes to show them off. There we go, the rolled up pipe exposure.
If I had pipes like that, I'd show them off.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's why I wore long sleeves when I played.
I couldn't do that. If I had one of those sumo matches in the bar in the Velcro suit, I wouldn't look that good. We're at 3-1 right here. Class AA baseball championship. Bottom of the first inning. Andrew with a threat. 1 out, 1 in, 1 on third. Here is Dwyer.
I just like the way he stands in there, Mr. Dwyer.
I think right there he was just looking to see what Hutton was going to give him. If he ever got that pitch again, it would probably be over that 400 sign. Beats this one down. And there is Frank Ganser. You know, he's a second baseman at Purdue. Still can make those plays. Here he is.
What a great coach. Both sides are so well coached.
It's wonderful when you can talk to coaches like this and you learn so much baseball as well as real life. You know, these fellows have been around, they teach, they've been around kids, and they've been in this game. You know, both coaches combined 51 years, 51 years of experience in coaching. Here's the one. Tough hop, pass short. 3-2 ball game as Hunt scores on the single by Dwyer. And that ball was just tagged.
Yes, it was. And Rhett Dwyer behind in the count, looking for a pitch anywhere. And Opal did a good job. He's made those plays in the past, but he just couldn't get in front of it. All you can do there is try and play it off your chest.
Yeah, gave it a little bit of the matador, but that was hit very, very quickly. And let's take a look here as we get the pitching coach coming out.
Mike Waldo does a great job with Edwardsville. Again, he calls every single pitch, which sometimes you don't like as a pitcher, especially if you get rat-a-tatted.
Yeah, at this level. Mike Waldo, I think, has been around there since 1981. Is that right? 87?
Yeah.
They have been together for a long, long time.
And just talking to Tom Pyle, asked him about pitching. He goes, "Don't ask me about pitching."
Yeah, talk to Waldo.
Talk to Waldo.
Well, action aplenty here in the first inning, and here is, well, another formidable hitter for Andrew, Brett Pignatello, designated hitter. 1 of 2 lefties in the lineup. Dwyer, not a big threat to go, but he's got a couple of steps out there on first base. Evers holding him on, still only 1 out. Too slow for 2. Can they get 1? No. Ruled an error.
They were right on in the scouting report, threw a pitch up, and no chance to make the play. Once you bobble it, you've got no chance.
Well, Hutton was there covering the base, but Evers could not come up with that slow bouncer that had a lot of underspin on it. Goes as an error. First for Edwardsville, now each team has one. First and second, one out still. And here's Nathan Wright at 6'4", 205. Tallest, one of the biggest players on the field. 8 home runs, 39 batted in, 367 batting average. 3-2 the score. Edwardsville the lead. Andrew with the threat. Right back to the box. Nicely done. They go to second one. And they get 2. Outstanding play. Gets Edwardsville out of the inning, but a couple of runs, 3 hits. There was an error and 1 left. Score after 1, Edwardsville by 1, 3-2. Top of the second inning we go. The lights are on. The shadows are about halfway across the infield. They are covering just about to the mound. Toughest time to see, but the batters haven't had a problem so far as we go to the number 8 hitter, Andrew Honegger. He was at bat when the rundown took place, ending the first inning for Edwardsville. Honegger, 5'8", a junior. Held up on that pitch. It's 1-0. Keith Naraki had a rocky first inning, giving up 3 runs. His defense let him down as well. See what happens here in the second. Bunted hard. Dwyer makes the play himself. One away on the unassisted play by Rhett Dwyer.
Just a little too hard in that situation. He needs to try and make the second baseman field that ball and get the pitcher off the mound. Just a little too far to the first base side.
And here is Corey Kuba, also an outstanding soccer player. Kuba and Matt Evers were 2 of the starters on Edwardsville's state finals team back in the fall. Came in second to Fremd in the state championships. Evers started at goal. Outside, 2-0. Kuba is a hitter, 272, 5 homers, 21 runs batted in. Leads the team with 11 sacrifices. The 2-0.
I'm amazed when a pitcher falls behind 2-0 that they're still throwing the location. I want the catcher set up right down central.
Yeah, especially on the number 9 hitter. Like that. Of course, Kuba, as we told you, has got some power with 5 homers, but what are you horsing around with the number 9 hitter for?
Just go right at him at this point. But Mike, some of these guys sneak one of those guys down the 9 hole that can rake. Kirby Smith was notorious for that at Barrington, the coach at Barrington, a tremendous coach. You think you're out of it with the 7, 8, 9 hitters, but they can rake.
Counts full, 3-2.
Shook off a changeup right there. Going with the fastball.
Outside. And this one right up the middle, base hit. Third hit of the game for the Tigers, and with 1 out, runner on first base, and they'll start the order again with Crothers. Dave started the game off with a walk and later came around to score. On the single by Opal. 1 out, 1 on. Runner doesn't go. Strike 1 outside corner.
This is not Crothers' last game. He is going to play beyond this, and I think if he when he continues to play, I think they're going to straighten his stance out a little bit because he's a big man, and that's always Sandy Alomar when he came up with the Indians. He was in a little bit of a crouch, didn't hit with a whole lot of authority. Crothers is a great hitter, but if he stands a little more upright.
This one down the first base line. Dwyer with the play into the sun. Tougher than it looked. 2 away. That's tough because you have the tarp over there. You've got the sun. That's right where the sun breaks, coming over the top of the stands. And Rhett Dwyer hung with him. And here's Matt Bogle. Bogle laid down that sacrifice bunt in the first inning. Set up the first run. A little low, ball 1. 3-2 Edwardsville. The Tigers leading. Top half of the second inning. Keith Naraki pitched a 6-inning win yesterday in the quarterfinal. Here again today. The rule, by the way, as the play goes over to first base, Kuba's back, as you can only pitch 9 innings in one day, and this is designed specifically for this tournament. You've got young arms, you don't want to hurt him up high. The only way you can pitch more is if the game goes into extra innings and you are the pitcher of record, you can stay in there. But you know, these coaches know not to ruin these kids' arms. They're young, and while most of them aren't going to be playing past this level, you don't want to hurt somebody. No, Naraki's the ace of the staff, Dave, and he said, I want the ball.
Absolutely.
And they gave it to him, 15-1, and they call a balk over on first base. That's Bob Roat called the balk on Naraki, and Frank Ganser coming out to discuss this with the umpire. Now, what exactly did we do? Maybe we can see it.
Well, Mike, I think all he did, Naraki, when he went in for a sign, he flinched a little bit, and then they called a balk on it. You know, that's a tough call right there, because there is some movement when you're getting your sign and then you come to the set position. A little bit of a turn right there, but I think that's part of his natural delivery, and the umpires have got to get used to that with the pitchers. Some pitchers have little quirks in their stretch, and I think he was just doing his normal setup.
And obviously, when you're on such a short string to begin with, anything that's going to upset you, that's not what you need. Tom Sternquist, the umpire at second, we saw in the replay, actually made the first signal. And then the first base umpire pointed down toward toward second base. There's Sternquist from Belvedere. So Kuba moves over. 2 out, runner now in scoring position. And the 2-0 count on Matt Bogle. And now the plate umpire calls time. Let's see what's going on there.
Bark on the umpire.
Well, Tom Pyle was saying something at third base, but that's nothing new. He's always saying something. Now we're ready, 2-0. Ball 3.
You know, you got an open base, but at the same time, you really don't want to face Opal in a situation with men on first and second. So I think Naraki's still going to take a shot at Matt Bogle.
And walk number 2 given up by Naraki. Here's Opal with that little single to shortstop that Kozlowski made a nice play on, but just couldn't quite throw him out. And now we're going to get a conference on the mound. And we're going to get the pitching coach out here now. And it's a strategy discussion. They really don't want to take Naraki out.
I was talking to Naraki, but I think this is also to get the infielders on board in case there's action, you know, a steal play, or you know, I mean, there's a chance that Opal could lay one down, I guess, down the third base line. You probably want to take away the bunt, but I think Opal's up there trying to drive in that run from second base.
Here's a good close-up of Bob Gillen, the pitching coach. He's been there 10 years. And he goes to the dugout. The broadcast rights to tonight's Class AA championship game have been granted to Fox Sports Chicago and Intersport by the Illinois High School Association. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of this event without the written consent of Fox Sports Chicago, Intersport, and the IHSA is prohibited. Here's the situation. 2 out, 2 on. 3-2 lead for the folks at bat Edwardsville. Right there, strike 1 to Chad Opal. Opal started out as a 100-pound cornerback in football. And Tom Pyle said he was so tough, he would just take on those big running backs and wide receivers. Nobody got past him. He said he just loves his toughness. He's a little more than 100 pounds now. And this one is rocked. Will it stay fair? It does. Down the line. Fair ball, extra bases. 2 runs are going to score. Coming in and holding at second as the throw comes home is Opal. Bogle and Kuba come across the plate. It is a 5-2 game. All this with 2 outs.
Wow. Opal got jammed last time. He made sure he didn't get jammed right there. 0-0 fastball right down central. And Opel turned on it down the left field line. And Kuba and Bogle both score.
Oh, 2 ribbies for Chad Opel, gives him 44 on the season.
That was a great piece of hitting, Mike.
And it's 5-2, so just when Andrew thought it might escape with no runs in this inning, all this action with 2 out. Outside corner strike to Nick Seibert. Seibert was hit by a pitch, remember, with the 0-2 count on him, loading the bases. And setting up James Hutton's big 2-run single. Rocky deals. This one down the first base line and foul. Seibert, I guess the limp is gone, but he was really tattooed on that 0-2 pitch. When he came around to score, he was doing it basically on one leg.
Throw a little ice on it between innings, and he's ready to roll.
Let it hurt tomorrow.
That's right.
In the hole 0-2. Runner on second is Opel. Try to get him to chase that outside pitch.
Well, Naraki hit him last time, so he's going away. He wants no part of that inside pitch.
Here's Naraki. 95 innings, 80 hits, 95 strikeouts, but basically more of a finesse than a strikeout pitcher, if you can call him. Guy who averages a strikeout an inning, a finesse guy.
Yeah, he's got good stuff. He's probably hanging a little bit, but yeah, he moves the ball around and changes speeds.
1-2. Tresniak tried to pull it back and frame it, but that was too far outside. In the bullpen, you see Brett Pignatello, the designated hitter, is also going to be the designated relief pitcher. We'll probably see him if Seibert gets on base.
Good pitch.
Swallowed up. And that's the inning, but not before 2 more runs come in on a couple of hits. No errors, 1 left. Edwardsville now 5-2 over Andrew. Well, we played 3 half innings and 7 runs have so far crossed the plate. Andrew gets his shot in the bottom of the second. They'll send up the bottom of their order. Garrett Jones, the left fielder, followed by Todd Kozlowski, the shortstop, and Jared Howard, the center fielder. Before the game, the Class AA hitting derby, and this was a competition that saw that young man, Josh DeWitt of Moline. You get points for distance and points for hitting them out of the park, and he did both right here. This one goes to the right field wall, and Josh DeWitt of Moline is the hitting derby winner with a total of 26 points. Don't ask how he figured it out, but congratulations to Josh and the other finalists: Ken Lutz of Collinsville, Ryan Thede of Bensenville-Fenton, and B.J. Olson of Ottawa. That's a fun thing to watch. I don't know if they use the juice baseballs, but kind of reminded me of the old home run derby.
That's right. You know? Yeah, I think it's a great contest. This is the first year that IHSA has done that, and it has really generated a lot of interest.
Up the middle, nice stop by the shortstop Opel, and he gets him. Chad Opel to his left, and that's why this kid is a state caliber player.
Chad Opel's got tremendous range at shortstop. Got a good jump on this ball, read it perfectly. A nice little turn, and he got him.
And Garrett Jones, who can speed, is out by a good stride. Here's Todd Kozlowski. The other half of the twin brother act, and he is being pitched to by half a twins, what am I saying? Part of a twins brother combination. Ben Hutton is also a pitcher, the top pitcher for Edwardsville.
They're all twins.
Yeah, that's right. We've got the Kozlowski twins, we've got the Hutton twins, and we've also got Naraki. Keith's got a younger brother, Scott. So with 1 away, 3-0 count here on Todd Kozlowski, batting .340 with a homer and 25 runs batted in. And took that one right down the highway.
Boy, anytime your team scores runs, you want to get them back in that dugout.
To right field, down the line, could be trouble, and it is a foul ball. Right on top of the play is the right field umpire, Greg Couch. And Kozlowski almost had himself an extra base knockdown.
That was a good piece of hitting right there. Take him the other way.
He's been struggling offensively and would love to get on track here in the title game. And he gets himself a hit.
What do you mean struggling?
Well, what do I know? You say that and he just finds a seeing eye hit right through the left side. And here is Jared Howard, who also is having his problems offensively. He's in there mainly for defense. Howard hitting .250 with 4 doubles and 8 runs batted in. One out, one on, 5-2. Edwardsville in the field leading. And Howard asked for time.
You know, that's a situation. I don't know if that was on purpose, but if you step off real quick like that, that gives the coach an idea of whether you've got action over at first base, whether he's running, because the runner will flinch if a pitcher steps off real quick.
And it doesn't go. Pitcher's in there for a strike. There's a wonderful rule in high school baseball, and we can watch it when we take a wider shot of the batter's box. You cannot take more than 1 foot out of the box. That keeps the game going, so the batter just can't walk around and pull that old Mike Hargrove routine. You know, do all the twitching and all that stuff. Nothing doing over at first. You must keep, you see, 1 foot in the batter's box at all times when you're at the plate, unless of course you run into first base. There goes the runner. Pitch is swung at and missed, and he is in there. Kozlowski with a delayed steal.
Kozlowski got a great jump right there. Just low flying immediately, and Fisher really had no chance. And you really got to pin that on the pitcher in that situation. Didn't do a good job of holding him on.
Went in standing up,
so you can't always blame the catcher.
Oh, you're so kind. You probably had one of those wonderful days. This one's to the right side. Could be trouble, and it is. Over to third base goes Todd Kozlowski as the ball falls in front of Corey Kuba. So two straight hits.
Kuba got a great jump on this, Mike. Made a great effort, and Howard just dumped one in. Boy, great effort.
Sporting the Indiana Pacers look over there at Andrew, you know, what the Tigers do. And a head shaving going on. Not a big fan of that, Dave. You know?
Whatever it takes.
I guess. And here is Tim Kozlowski. 1 out, 2 on, trailing by 3. They try the old first and third Jack McDowell move, and nothing's happening. Dave Turner reminds me that the play never works. I saw Jack McDowell pick somebody off.
Yes, I did.
I think it was a fan in the first base seats. That one's high.
And I saw Rick Sutcliffe work it to perfection.
Well, Rick could work a lot of things to perfection.
Yes, he could. He was irritating the play against, though, because he is probably the slowest worker I have ever seen.
And the other thing about Sutcliffe, he just could move his hat over to center just a little bit. Just drives me just a little off center. Made me nuts. All you obsessive compulsives know what I'm talking about.
Change up.
The 1-0. It is a change up, and it's popped up. Shortstop Opal. And no, it's not an infield fly. You have to have a runner on first and second, or first, second, and third.
Mike, I love 1-0 change monkeys. I think it's a great pitch because when you're ahead 1-0, you're sitting dead red right there. And he got Kozlowski out front with the man on third. You can get a weak ground ball or a lazy pop-up.
A 1-0 change monkey. I'm writing these down. He rakes a 1-0 change monkey. Here's C.J. Hunt. Only his mom calls him Chris. Okay. James Hutton is trying to get some.
Well, if anything, it most likely doesn't work, but you can get a look and see if Jared Howard is going to flinch, and then if he flinches, maybe you throw a pitch out right here.
And this one goes into the gap in right center. Center fielder is there, and Crothers makes the catch. So Andrew threatens but does not score. We had no runs, a couple of hits, 2 left. We go to the top of the third. It's 5-2 in the State AA Championship, Edwardsville. Before the Edwardsville Tigers come up, let's get some Tiger insight from Brandon Thompson. Brandon.
All right, thanks, Mike. And I'm down here right next to Edwardsville dugout. And I heard you guys earlier talking about these helmets. I just wanted to give the viewers at home a closer look. You can see the eye of the Tiger to keep Edwardsville focused is right here on the helmet. And the coach of Edwardsville has informed me that if indeed Edwardsville does hold on to the early lead, I can take one of these right back to the station to check. Right back up to you guys.
You know, he's got to do a game room in that helmet.
He needs a bigger helmet, though. That helmet's not going to be big enough.
I will know something. There are about 8 lines there that I won't touch. But Chet, tune in to Chet Kopic and Ann Werner on the game room. Norm Van Leer and occasionally Dave Otto graces that table as Matt Evers takes a chance here at the top of the third inning. Evers a strikeout victim back in the first. Rocky hanging in there. Keith Naraki missing. 1-1. 5-2. Edwardsville at bat with the lead. State championship here. To right field and trouble. Back. Goodbye. Kozlowski looking up. And once again, the IHSA spares no expense. We got the fireworks tonight. Fantastic. And Matt Evers, his 7th home run, 42nd RBI. And they're a happy bunch of Tigers.
Oh, he jumped all over that pitch. Not too many guys can hit an outside breaking ball. He stayed on it.
Look at he's fallen backwards on it. He's got wonderful balance, but look where he hits it, and that ball just zings. Those bats are something else.
He got fooled by the pitch, but again, Matt Evers stayed back. He kept his hands back and was able to drive the ball to right.
And nice pickup at third by Nate Wright. Gets James Hutton for the first out. Nathan Wright, nice job to his left.
Boy, Evers, as Wimpy would say, he's got hair on the bottom of his feet. Hit that ball that far to right field on a pitch low and away.
I'm not even going to write that one down.
Number 21, Matt Turner.
Matt Turner reached on Wright's error back in the first. One of those 55-footer breaking balls right there. May have been 55 miles an hour, too. That was a real off-speed pitch by Naraki. That one foul back right side. Good look at Matt Turner. Been having his problems, struggling at the plate. Remember the last time we said that. This time a nice play by Keith. Rocky throws him out. 2 away.
I like the way Naraki throws. He gets the ball out of his glove immediately, and by doing that, that really gets your arm out front of everything and get on top. That really forces you to get on top.
Here's Honegger, the second baseman. Again, the outside corner. Yeah, you can say that Brad Stearns has got a wide plate, but I like that strike. Get up there and hit.
Especially because they got aluminum bats in their hand.
And he does. This one up the middle. Past the shortstop Kozlowski, and Andrew Honecker gets on board.
Boy, Edwardsville is so well coached. All these kids are just swinging the bat up the middle. Honegger does a good job there, keeping his nose right on that pitch and drives it up the middle. I love to see hitters when they go up the middle with things. They're not trying to bail and wail.
Here's number 6 as Coach Frank Ganser comes out, and this may be it for Naraki. There's Frank. King of the SICA West. And yeah, Naraki will be excused. We'll see who's coming in next. First, we'll take a break right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Okay, back in the 3rd inning, 2-out pitching change for Andrew. It'll be Brett Pignatello, the designated hitter, so they lose the DH. There's Andrew, and there's Pignatello. Those are his numbers, undefeated. Actually, he's 5-0. And a good ERA and a good strikeout to walks ratio, but he has not pitched that much.
You know, just watching him in warm-ups, he's got a fresh arm, Mike. You know, I think that was the difference with Naraki tonight. Throws 6 innings yesterday. After throwing 6 innings one day, I could barely brush my teeth the next day, and that's, you know, that's difficult for a pitcher to do.
Which is always good for hygiene. You should, whether or not you feel like it, you should always do that. And here is Corey Kuba. Single came around to score back in the 2nd. His 2nd at bat. 6-2. His team already leads. Here on the top of the 3rd. State championship on the line in Double-A. Kuba's average now up to 280. The 1-0.
I think it's more than coincidence, but both pitchers, Naraki and Pignatello, both have an open stance as they look in at the catcher, and then they come in. I think by staying open like that, then it forces you to stay closed.
Short arms it, and that's high. 3-0.
And also by having a little open setup as a pitcher, you can see the runner on first much better.
Runner on first is Honegger. 2 away, a run in on the big home run by Matt Evers. And 4 pitches. 4 balls. Kuba. First walk given up on the first batter by Pignatello. Moves Honegger down to 2nd, and we start the 3rd time through the lineup. Crothers 0 for 1 with a walk. Dave Crothers, hitting nearly 500, shall we say, is overdue. 2 out. Still hasn't thrown a strike.
It's a difficult test. Pignatello has not thrown that many. We saw his numbers, 20 innings this year. All of a sudden you get thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
You just want to throw a strike. And Crothers realizes that, so if he gets a pitch in his zone, he's bailing and wailing.
Yeah, and Crothers can go to all fields. They play him a step to left, a little bit to pull, but he can just spray. As we're going to get a pinch runner here going in to 2nd base. It's going to be Jeff Ritchie. Ritchie, a senior, will run for Honegger.
Number 30, Jeff Ritchie.
I think the old re-entry rule is going to come into effect right
Yeah, for those of you not all that familiar with the high school rules, you can come back into a game after you have left it. It's not the way the rest of baseball is played, where once you're out, you're out. So Ritchie's in there to run. Honegger conceivably could come right back in and play 2nd base the next inning, or anywhere else for that matter. Here's the 1-0.
Boy, at this point, you just want the catcher to set up right down central and pick up a spot on his glove and just try and bury a strike right here.
To the right side and through. Ritchie around 3rd. He will score. Going into 3rd as the throw comes in. The cutoff fails. And we play 1st and 3rd over here for. Well, there's Ed Hightower, by the way, the athletic director at Edwardsville. The fine official, we know him, is here we see going the opposite way.
Mike, inside out swing. Crothers can really handle the bat well. Drives it into right field. Ritchie scores easily. And he is fired up, Richie.
And Kuba goes to third. And here is Matt Bogle. Bogle sacrificed a walk, so he hasn't had an official at bat yet. 7-2. Edwardsville out in front of Andrew. 2 away. Shows the bunt.
That was the intentional take right there. I don't think he was planning on laying one down because he squared around. He's going to make Pignatello throw some strikes right here.
And I said Ed Hightower, I just correct myself, I should know that. He is the superintendent of the schools in Edwardsville, not the principal. But he is a name we all know as the Big Ten official. The throw down, and we get the runner in the run down again. They have to watch over there at third base, but that's not going to be a problem here as they get Dave Crothers to end the inning, but not before 2 more runs come in. On 3 hits, there was a walk. At the end of 2.5, 7-2 Edwardsville. Back to the bottom of the third. Several Tiger fans with, I guess, a series of problems there. Oh, it's school spirit. I know. Don't write letters. That's great. They are cheering on their team, and it's a lot better to do it when it's 76 degrees out than when it's 6 degrees out. We certainly have seen that, Dave. April and Wrigley Field. I guess, not to mention Soldier Field. Hutton going into his 3rd inning of work. Gave up 2 in the first, pitched the scoreless second, and here he is. Again, both these mound staffs, and this is nothing new, depleted, of course, because of the consistency of games over the tournament. And James Hutton right now holding on to a 5-run lead. So what do? Throw the ball over the plate, but with this crew coming up, Tresniak, Dwyer, and Pignatello, the murderer's row of Tinley Park, if you will.
These guys can thump.
And Tresniak could be the state's top catcher next year. They're very excited about him. Frank Answer just goes on and on about how good he is, both offensively and defensively.
Well, he really handles his pitchers well. He's got great plate coverage at the plate, swinging the bat, and I love the way he blocks balls behind the plate.
And he also has an excellent eye. He walks an awful lot for a power hitter. And right away he's ahead of the count, 2-1. There you can see the catcher Fisher looking in all the time to the pitching coach. Drill to short. High throw. And the ball knocked out of Eber's glove. The umpire was calling him out, but then Opal's throw had the ball knocked out of the glove of the first baseman as the runner whizzed past.
Tresniak got a little fooled on that changeup, and Opal just dropped his arm a little bit right there and launched one. Good effort by Matt Evers, but Tresniak going hard down the line was able to knock the ball out of the first baseman's glove.
Throw was there in time because it was a bad throw. Who do they give the error to? In that case, I would imagine it'd be on the shortstop, but it was knocked out of the first baseman's glove after he called him out. So we'll have to check. Have to send our crack spotter, Hank Lundeen. He's going to let us know who the error was charged to. Well, it goes to the shortstop. E6. Okay. Here's Dwyer. There's a shot. Base knock left field.
Rhett Dwyer is a prospect. I've seen him hit rockets to left field, and he hit a Zetron earlier today to right field. I love.
I'm writing.
I love the way this runs.
Welcome to Deep Space Nine.
Hey, when you give up as many Zetrons as I did.
Yeah. You were Mr. Longball. I know. Come on.
I give up some yardage.
You did fine. Just think of the pension.
Yeah.
Did I say? Yeah, Hank Sundin. What did I say? I didn't say Matt Sundin, did I? Uh-oh. Popped it straight up behind the plate with room. Fisher. Runner bluffs. And Fisher makes a smart play. Just runs it back to the infield as Pignatello fouls to the catcher. One away.
They got the scouting report on Pignatello. He had a rocket earlier today on a pitch down. Now they are working him up in the zone. Left-handed hitters are notorious low ball hitters. You got to pitch up in the zone and popped him up.
And here is Nathan Wright, the third baseman. Hit into that bang, bang, bang double play, 1-6-3.
That's another one that rarely works.
Yeah. Well, you know, Hutton's on TV across the state. Showing a lot of guts out here again. He's picked up the save in the semifinal this morning.
I would try that move, I'd break my ankle. I never did that.
Down 5 runs. Andrew got 2 runners on here with 1 out. Right. His number.
Fisher, the catcher, signaled to Hutton right there. Stay on me, don't. He's flying a little bit right now, and he's leaving things away.
The 1-0. Oh, once again they go back, and this time they get him.
It works.
Well, son of a gun. Tresniak picked off. And you called and you called it, and we were sitting here saying, okay, just throw it to home, and look at this.
He's got a great inside move. Tresniak, he's got nowhere to go right there. Close play at second base.
Close enough to call him out. So, a first and second, no one out. Quickly now runner on first and 2 outs. Boy, you're 5 runs down. You don't want to take chances like that.
Nowhere to go.
Well, now you know that Hutton's going to be doing this all day. Right? He's going to be bluffing the third with nobody there. Going to get the guy at first base. Hutton, by the way, has picked off 3 runners this season. That was the 3rd. So they work on that pickoff move. Play to short. Over to second for the force. And the threat goes by the boards. No runs, a hit. There was an error, 1 left. It's still 7-2 as we go to the 4th. Top of the 4th inning here at Elstrom Stadium. I'm Mike Liederman along with Dave Otto and Brandon Thompson roaming the sidelines. And our Sports Channel Fox Sports Chicago crew. Almost did it. The Class AA championships. Meanwhile, Andrew caucusing on the mound. They've got to hold Edwardsville here and hope to get back in it. They trailed by 5. Brett Pignatello on the mound. Came on in the last inning. Got the 3rd out. And so far, there has not been an inning where Edwardsville's Tigers have not scored. Here's Matt Bogle, who was up when Dave Crothers was caught stealing. Bogle takes inside. It was Bogle who laid down a sacrifice bunt against Simeon after Simeon had no-hit the Tigers for 5 innings. This one into center field, coming on quickly and can't make a play as the ball falls in front of Howard. And here they go again. So we were saying Bogle started a big rally, a 4-run rally in the 6th inning against Simeon with a very well-placed sacrifice bunt, and later was on first base as the Simeon first baseman couldn't come up with the throw, and that triggered the 4-run rally that negated a 1-0 Simeon lead and got Edwardsville here into the finals.
It's really a shame for Simeon because they made a bunch of errors in that inning, but that was such a well-played game on both sides. And Bogle really makes things happen in that top of the order.
Opal on the outside corner for strike 1. Chad, good day so far. An infield hit, very much of an outfield hit. Single to left, scored 2 back in the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1. Fakes the bunt.
I like that play right there, Mike, because that gets the third baseman in now. And Opal might swing away right here, and watch your lips over at third base.
as Nate Wright comes in. Wright. And this one to the right side with time and room. Kozlowski. One away. You mixed your opals with your Bogles. You never want to do that. Could end up with the Olympics at the Moguls. And now Nick Seibert hit by a pitch and grounded to second. Coming into the game at 4:22 with the team leading 7 home runs. One away. Pignatello outside with that first one. Seibert's a junior. But to take a good look at Pignatello.
Looks like Pignatello's got his rhythm a little bit more. That first inning that he came in, boy, that was a tough situation to come into.
Good fastball there.
And that had some giddy up. I think Bogle over there is itching to get a bag right here. You got a hose behind the plate.
Takes the strike.
We caught a glimpse of Tresniak's hose in the inning before on that rundown play. He threw a bullet down to second base.
Bogle, 17 stolen bases in 19 attempts, so he's a threat to go. Maybe not with a 5-run lead. Up high, 2-1.
Be a good spot to put Bogle in action.
There he goes, and was the batter hit? I guess not. He is out at second base. Seibert went down. He almost got clocked for the second time during the game, but what a throw by Tresniak. Look at this.
It's not a bad pitch to throw on right there. Tresniak throws just a bullet down to second base and got Bogle easily. Boy, Seibert's having a day at the plate.
Jeez. Seibert.
A little gun shy back there.
I thought he'd get his uniform or something. And look at this. I mean, he could have just waited all day for this one. Bogle tries to go to the outside of the bag and just prolong the agony right there. And now the pitch to Seibert. He's earned his trip to first base. Man.
Let's have a pickoff attempt. He'll take one off the coconut right here.
There is a point at which taking one from the club, for the club, has no relevance. Here is Evers, and all he did, his last at-bat, was launch one over the right field wall, inside outing a pitch. About 350 feet from home plate.
So that was on a breaking ball. They're going to go in right here.
Bluffs doesn't go. Evers, as we told you, the goalie on the soccer team going to Eastern Illinois for a soccer scholarship, maybe baseball as well. Nice stop by Tresniak.
Tresniak's got great actions behind the plate.
Just that play, just throwing that guy out at second base on that kind of a pitch. I've seen all of Tresniak that I want to. He is a definite prospect. Remember, he's just a junior. Just missed that one.
Good hack. Good hack right there. Anytime a guy fouls a ball straight back like that, he's got your fastball centered. So that is an indication to throw something else. Throw something off speed to get him off your fastball. Curveball.
Like this, 2-1 pitch, setting up outside. Missed.
You know, you throw a nasty curveball right there like Pignatello did, and Evers just spit on it.
Well, these are two of the best hitters facing each other. Pignatello had a 3-for-3 game with a home run earlier in the tournament. And look what Evers has done with the grand slam and a home run tonight. Again, he goes to right field. This time, Kozlowski is there. So, for the first time tonight, Edwardsville does not score. There was a hit. There was a man left. They still have a comfortable lead. Tigers by 5. Well, the Thunderbolts are going to have to strike like lightning to get back in this ball game. We'll see what they can do in the bottom of the fourth. Meanwhile, let's go into the stands and Brandon Thompson with a special guest. Brandon.
Thanks, Mike. And I'm just roaming the sidelines, performing my sideline reporter duties, and look who I run into. Big Ten basketball official, as well as superintendent of Edwardsville Schools, Ed Hightower. And Ed, how are you enjoying yourself here today?
My pleasure, and I'm just happy to be here tonight. Happy to be here doing this great tournament. It's an exciting time for our community, our school district, and the players have just performed marvelously all year long. So it's an exciting time.
Now, Ed, your team is up right now 7-2. I got to ask you, if they pull this through, what's celebration going to be tonight?
Well, certainly Mayor Gary Niebert and others are planning a big celebration in the morning. We'll have an escort into the town. Next Thursday night, we will have a reception at the high school where the whole community is invited to be there and help to recognize and celebrate the exciting times for our Tigers baseball team. So we're looking forward to it.
All right, thanks a lot. Right back up to you, Mike.
All right, thanks a lot, Brandon. You saw outstanding play by the shortstop. Wow, he just fired that ball as Opal just made that play. We were talking about how good this kid is. There's an example. He just threw him out from deep in the hole. And Garrett Jones is out on a 6-3.
You know, you put your best athletes up the middle, and Opal's got tremendous range at shortstop. Gave it a little ground right there and threw a bullet to first base.
It's good to see Ed Hightower. This one by Todd Kozlowski goes down the right field line. Ed Hightower didn't recognize him, of course, without the striped shirt.
That's right. And the whistle.
And the whistle.
Looks like he could play a little bit.
Yeah.
He's in shape.
You know, you run it. You got to get ready for the season.
That's right.
It's going to be November before you know it. Kozlowski couldn't hold up. Todd singled in his only at bat. Stole second. And he's rung up.
Boy, anytime a player makes a great defensive play, as a pitcher, you start digging yourself and you make nasty pitches because you know you got a great defense behind you. And he just painted Kozlowski right there, low and away.
And here's Jared Howard. Howard with a single to right field, his only trip, raising his average from 250. Well, got the changeover.
You know, even though all these pitchers are hanging and they're tired, you've got a big, high mound. And if you can just concentrate on get your arm out and let the mound, the slope, do the damage.
Nice play cut off by Bogle. Well, that's some major league action right there. Two good defensive plays and a strikeout. So 1, 2, 3. Andrew is gone. Edwardsville still leads by 5. Well, as we go into the bottom of the fourth, want to remind you with Edwardsville leading 7-2. That's what it says up there. Coming up tomorrow on Fox Sports Chicago, we start out with the game room at 12:30. Then the Sox and the Twins from the Baggy Dome over there in Minnesota. And then we've got soccer action for you. The Chicago Fire and the New England Revolution. All here on Fox Sports Chicago. Mike Liederman along with Dave Otto, Brandon Ahmad Thompson roaming the sidelines. And here, James Hutton, the pitcher. He has done his job, giving up 2 runs through 4 innings. Also has a 2-run single. Facing Pignatello and outside and low, ball 1.
That last inning, James Hutton really found his rhythm. He's throwing the ball extremely well.
Pignatello has been able to hold him. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third for Edwardsville. Pignatello came in the 3rd inning and he shut him down. Is it enough, though? There's a 1-1 count on the pitcher.
Not yet, not the way Andrew spanks the ball.
Yeah. They hit well, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did he go? Yes, he did. 1-2. Brad Stearns not hesitating behind the plate.
bet you he's going to test him again with that breaking ball. No, he's going with the fastball.
2-2. Right side.
You know, you throw a breaking ball out of the zone and he swings at it. You always want to try and take a shot at something lower and slower.
There's your situation. Again, the 2-2. Got him going.
Or throw a fastball.
All right. You've been doing beautifully. I mean, everything you've said has come through. Guy's in a slump, he gets a hit. He's going to throw a change, he throws a fastball. There it is.
Fastball up in the zone. Pignatello did a good job. Actually, set him up with that breaking ball low and away. And that's in Hutton's mind. He just went with a good high gas right there.
First strikeout for Brett. And here is Matt Turner. 0 for 2, reached on an error back in the first, and then bounced back to the box in the third. A walk, a sacrifice, an infield single, a hit batsman, and a 2-run single by James Hutton. Got him out to a 3-run lead, with an error helping in there in the first inning. And they do drop in here. 1-2. And Edwardsville has not trailed. Andrew came back with a couple of their own. Edwardsville with 2 runs each in the second and third has that 5-run cushion in the 5th inning. Reaching for the outside pitch at 1-2.
That's called an emergency hack right there.
Emergency hack.
Turner got buckled on that breaking ball, and he's just trying to fight off that fastball right now. Pignatello's throwing it now. Here comes the hammer.
Breaking pitch trying to come in. 2-2. Two pitch. Count is full. 15,001 the attendance today here at Elstrom Stadium. And the fans can't ask for a better night. There's somebody from the Egyptian tombs, I guess. Payoff pitch. Kozlowski can't get it, and a base hit. Number 9 for Edwardsville.
That was a great AB by Turner. Fouled off a couple pitches. And then was just able to drive the ball up the middle. 3-2s, looking for anything in the zone, and boy, I love the way these guys hit, going right up the middle.
Moniger has raised his average 5 points with the base hit and 2 trips. And Andrew puts a nice bunt down. This will move the runner over, and he gets tagged out. Nice play by Dwyer, the first baseman, unassisted.
Perfect execution with the man on first and the first baseman holding the runner on. You want to force the first baseman to make the play. And both sides are so fundamentally sound.
So moving over to second base is Matt Turner, and here is Corey Kuba, who is perfect. Singled, scored a run, then walked. 1 for 1. Two away.
A little mix-up on signs with a man on second. You throw a series of signs, and sometimes some catchers need an abacus out there to figure out what pitch to call.
You know what I like? I guess we don't have them down in high school yet, but the new catches, goalie-type mask things, those are spectacular. Apparently, you can't even feel a foul tip that usually rings your chimes for about 3 innings. Those things just deflect all the
shock.
All the shock.
Yeah, those are great, and they're much lighter.
He went. 0-1. Yeah, now I was told a lot of the catchers would like to go to him, but they still have, I guess, equipment deals with the mask people.
Yep.
So when they lapse, they'll go into.
Charlie O'Brien, I believe, started that trend.
Sure. Right there on the outside corner, strike 2. Charlie O'Brien. I love his gear. Somebody described him as looking like a reverse Oreo cookie with that dark thing and the white thing and a mask. And just, oh boy. Even baseball moving into the 21st century. Up high. Kuba laid off it. On deck is Crothers. 7-2, Edwardsville up. That number 6 ranking from USA Today. Also, I think Collegiate Baseball Weekly ranks them number 1 according to, and there's strike 3 according to Tom Pyle. Nice piece of pitching there. As Edwardsville is done, no runs, a hit, 1 left. Well, all your favorite music here at Elstrom Stadium was Macarena night here. Whatever happened to that? My gosh, that sort of went there with hula hoops. Oh my gosh, look out.
Oh my.
I don't know, the Chris Moulton look-alike contest. Well, it's school spirit, isn't it? And it's all in good fun. It's a beautiful night for baseball. And here we go. Andrew's got to do some catching up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They'll send the top of the order. Tim Kozlowski, Hunt, and Tresniak. Strike 1 from James Hutton, who has just shut the door. He has bent, he has not broken. They touched him up for 2 runs in the first. That has been it.
He's been able to get his breaking ball over for strikes. And at this level, if you can do that consistently, you're going to deal.
Fastball misses. 2-1. Kozlowski singled and scored in the first, popped to short in the second, and off-speed pitch.
Hutton gives a good motion on that changeup. I mean, he is really killing that. I mean, that is a snail going up there, but he holds it deep in his hand. He's able to take a lot of speed off it.
Gets good lumber on this for aluminum. Way back, way back, way back, and to the wall. Kozlowski motoring on his way around third. There's going to be a play. And what a throw! What a throw from the shortstop on the relay. From center field to Crothers to Opal, and there's a major league play. Kozlowski is cut down.
In that situation, Mike, you don't want to make the first out
or the third out at third base. My gosh, but he's right in front of his coach who's waving him on. It had to be a perfect relay, David, and it is.
Crothers threw a strike to Opal, and then Opal turned around and fired a bullet to third base and nailed Kozlowski.
It's not close. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. What a play.
You know, you never want to make, like you said, the first or third out at third base. However, it took 2 perfect throws to get Kozlowski.
I love it. 8-6-5 if you're scoring at home. On the outside corner to Hunt. That just could be a backbreaker for Andrew. They had the lead runner, extra base hit. And again, what's the percentage? You're going to get a base hit, you're going to score, you're down 5 runs.
Yeah, especially with the big boys coming up.
Yeah, that's right. You've got Hunt, who's batting .400. Next 3 guys are all up the ladder at .400, .402, .418, .467.
You thank the pitching gods right there when something like that happens.
Thank the fielding gods right there.
That's right. Somebody's in your corner.
0-1 to CJ. Just off the plate. Well, Fisher set up at Batavia for that, and he's still come kind of close. Then once again, you're looking at the pitching coach Mike Waldo, and that's where he is. That's where Waldo is. Back, 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 back. And Kuba makes the catch. Corey Kuba had a beat on that, but that ball was carrying and 2 well-hit shots, and Andrews got 2 outs to show for it.
Boy, Kuba got a great jump on that. Kuga got a great jump on that ball. Just got after it in right field.
Here's Tresniak now, 0 for 2, safe on an error by the shortstop Opal back in the third, popped to second in the first.
I think I said Kuga. Kuba. K squared, Corey Kuba.
Okay. 1-0.
Every single pitch is called from the dugout, Mike Waldo. And that means you cannot shake off the catcher.
Right. That's right. There we go.
If you do shake off the catcher's going to put the same sign down again. So you may as well just throw it.
Zoom. Shot to short and through. Opal almost made that play. So 3 well-tagged baseballs here. And with 2 out, the runner on first base sets up for Rhett Dwyer. Dwyer 2 for 2, a couple of singles. But that's not what they need here on the T-Bolt side. They need a big bolt. And he can provide it. 12 homers, 56 runs batted in. Got the school homer record, school RBI record. 2 out. There's a shot to the gap. Nobody's going to get that. Quickly up with it in center field is Crothers, and having to hold at third is Tresniak. Boy, that makes that play at third base even bigger now.
Yes, it does. Got a changeup right here, up in the zone. And Dwyer, boy, if you make a mistake to Dwyer, he's just going to spank it. And he just stays right on this ball, stayed back, and was able to drive the ball into left center. That is one great hitter. He's going to be fun to watch in the future wherever he goes.
Yeah. And I just love that outfield over there. That Edwardsville outfield. They can pick it. They can throw it. Conference at the mound to try to settle him down. Now here comes Waldo. We may see a pitching change. Hutton has done everything asked of him, and Mike wants to check with the umpire. Waldo and Pyle have been together, gosh, so many years. I think it's either, I think it was 1981 they teamed up, and they both teach at the school, of course. I think Waldo teaches special ed, and Tom Pyle teaches history, and he is something. He's just an amazing guy. Both these coaches are, it looks like we've got a little maintenance here. Oh, not lifting. Maybe there's a blister or something.
Is there an emery board involved there? Pine tar?
Oh, check Rick Honeycutt, will you?
Yeah.
Maybe thumbtacks there, a little KY.
Whatever it takes.
I think, maybe the catcher's got to have his hands taped so he can see the signals better.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Not having played in the major leagues, I wouldn't know that, but I'm just guessing here.
No, that is exactly what it is. Apparently, Hutton cannot see the signs, and you don't want to. You want to take out any guesswork behind the play.
This is true. Rather than having Waldo come out with each pitch.
The only thing here with Fisher having his fingers taped, you don't have a real good feel of the ball, and it's very difficult to throw if somebody tries to steal a bag.
Yeah, use a little phosphorescent stuff too. So, but that's what it is. They're taping up the catcher Joe Fisher's fingers, and Waldo is supervising it right there.
Well, I played with guys that could never see the signs and crossed up the catcher a ton of times, and the catcher would scream at the pitcher.
All right. After Game 6 tomorrow, remember that's Bulls Game 6, of course, live in the locker room. We're going to be there in Utah. Bulls and Jazz should end tomorrow, won't it? Well, Bulls fans hope so.
Well, Chet and Norm are fun to watch after the game. They get fired up.
He's going to be even more fun doing it in that Tigers batting helmet. Yes, sir. Brandon's going to take it back with him to the good old Fox Sports Chicago studios. All right, here's Brett Pignatello. Can help his own cause. Up high, ball one. Second and third. 5-run game. Pignatello with 2 ducks here to drive in.
You got an open base, but you don't want base runners at this point when you're up by 5 runs, and they will continue to pound him up in the zone.
2 out. And the only person at second base on that bluff is the runner. This inning started with Kozlowski hitting one to the left center field gap and being thrown out on an incredible relay at third. Hunt hit an opposite field shot to the base of the wall and right, then 2 hits, single and a double. Change of speed outside, 2-1. So again, Kozlowski doesn't get thrown out. There are a couple of runs on the board, at least one, and only one out or fewer. Andrews still can make something happen here. Edwardsville trying to close the door behind James Hutton. 2-0 pitch, swinging away.
Boy, that was right in Pignatello's wheelhouse. Loves that pitch down.
Semi-final, a home run, 3 hits, stole 2 bases, 2 runs batted in. Not a bad night's work. He doesn't have to do all that much here, but a nice little single will drive in a couple. 2-1 pitch, side ball 3. The Andrew faithful applauding their team. Straight up, right there, shortstop takes it, and it is over. The threat is done. No runs, 3 hits, 2 for extra bases, 2 left. Coming up to the end of the 5th, after the end of the 5th, 7-2 Edwardsville. There are the fans. I'm sorry, Dave, all yours.
When you look back on a game, Mike, there's only a couple of key pitches that you have to make, and I think that situation, Hutton made a key pitch right here, a 3-1 changeup, which is a gutsy call right here. Got Pignatello out front, and that was just great pitching by Hutton.
Easy play for Opal, and that ends the threat. So, top of the 6th inning, Edwardsville with the 7-2 lead will send up the top of the order against Pignatello. Brothers Bogle and Opal. Pignatello's been in there since the 3rd inning, has done an outstanding job. He has been unscored upon. All the runs coming off the starter, Keith Naraki, who gave it a go. Gutsy performance, but obviously just couldn't face this kind of firepower on no day's rest. Scheduled 7-inning ball game, of course. We are in the top of the 6th. This will be a base hit. Tim Kozlowski watch the ball skidding off the grass. And let's see, double digits in hits now for Edwardsville, their 10th.
McCullers swings the bat so well, going the other way right there for a big man. He's got great back control, stays right on this pitch on the outer half, head down, hands back. And ropes the ball to right field.
Looking at the scorecard, both these teams, they do use the whole field. There's as much opposite field hitting as there is pull hitting as you take a look. With Bogle showing bunt, up high, ball 1. Well, there's 15 stolen bases and 20 attempts with a 5-run lead.
Kresniak's got a hose back there, but this might be a situation for a hit and run.
Again, they show bunt, and again, the ball is out of the strike zone. Bogle walk, came around to score in the 2nd inning, and once again, we're going to have Frank answer, and he may be looking to make a change at this point. He's seen about all he needs to from Pignatello, and he will make a change. Brett did a good job while he was in there, but he leaves. 5 runs behind when he took over, 5 runs behind when he leaves, so he did his job. We'll be back, tell you about the new pitcher in just a minute. C.J. Hunt, the second baseman, is your new pitcher. Hunt, there is numbers: 1 win, 5 1/3, 6.60 ERA, 1 strikeout, 5 walks. He is in to try to hold him. Over at second base, his old position, Tim Kablusik, a 6-foot senior, has taken over.
Easy for you to say.
13, and I'll say it again, Tim Kablusik.
CJ, only 5 innings pitched, and all of a sudden you're in the championship game.
Yeah. Well, Pignatello did an outstanding job.
Yes, he did.
Nobody out here in the 6th. Pitched 2 1/3. Gave up 4 hits, no runs so far. Of course, he is responsible for the runner on first base. And CJ now with Wright in at third. Coming to charge, and there's again showing one. Logo can handle the bat. He has sacrificed 7 times this year. Takes the strike, 3-1.
Bogle right there was taken all the way, making CJ throw some strikes right here. Anybody with a hat like that throws gas.
Major league hat. Or do you just curve it and you put the rubber bands on? And there's a shot down the third base line. It's a sharp single. Right past the third baseman who didn't know it was there until it was past him. Those are one of those bridge work plays, boy. You're lucky you still have it.
Well, Nate Wright playing for the bunt, way in on this situation. Bogle got a fastball in, Mike. And it was by him. Good piece of hitting right there. And a great call by Tom Pyle, realizing that the third baseman's coming in. 3-1 count. You're going to get a good pitch to hit in that situation.
That happened. Pete Rose played Mickey Rivers like that in the 1977 World Series. Remember that? When Rivers just couldn't get a base hit. Rose spooked him completely.
Got right in his dome.
Absolutely. There's a good bunt. Nobody's going to get anybody there. Don't even throw it. In your pocket. Beautiful bunt by Chad Opel, who's done just about everything else tonight.
And this is a great call by Tom Powell. Sees that Nate Wright is playing back now. Little gun shy.
He's also got to try to get the guy at third base. So call it a bunt single to first, and the bases are loaded. And the bases are loaded for Nick Seibert. And Seibert would love nothing better than to latch onto one here. He is spending a lot of time brushing off his uniform from low bridges from the pitches that have either hit him or come close. Officially, he is 0 for 1. Oh, boy. I guess we don't have to worry about how they're going to score that one.
Well, C.J. Hunt, this is his first attempt at throwing a breaking ball and just slipped out of his hand. And that's difficult to come in relief. And I don't think C.J. even threw a breaking ball in warm-ups. And then all of a sudden the catcher puts that down. And he's got to come and throw a hammer.
So very quickly we have a conference. Frank Ganson knows that his arms are tired. Really got to ride with what's left, because the top pitchers are really used up. And this was a team that had the ingredients, except didn't have pitching to begin with. Their big weak point at the beginning of the season, at least so it was thought in the preseason rankings and the papers, was pitching.
They hung in there good. Bob Waller pitched for Andrew in the afternoon game against Barrington. Just did a tremendous job throwing 7 innings. And Barrington's a great hitting club.
Well, yeah, he got did a beautiful job.
And Waller actually was the bat boy when they were in the dugout hitting. Waller retrieved the bat, so he did it all in that first semifinal game.
To right field. And deep, and deep. Can we see it? Foul ball. Anytime you get any kind of action on that aluminum bat, and remember it's 335 down that line. That ball first appeared to be a mid-range pop-up, and it just carried and carried.
The ball comes so quick off those aluminum bats, and some of those bats look like ironing boards. Yeah. They're so big.
What's interesting, finally, and the College World Series is an example of what's happening. It's just not acceptable to baseball. Forget purist anybody when you have 21-14 baseball scores. That there is that research going on as the throw goes over the third base. The bat manufacturers, and I believe the NCAA, are trying to work on a bat of artificial materials that doesn't have quite the trampoline effect that the aluminum bat does.
Well, it's dangerous, Mike, because the pitcher is only 60 feet away, and that ball just comes on you in a hurry.
Sure. Well, pitch in there for a strike.
You know, I was a minor league pitching coach for a year in rookie ball, and a lot of the players there use something called a bomb bat, which is, I guess, a certain type of wood that doesn't break. And the ball doesn't come off quite so fast. And it saves money because it doesn't break. I mean, that's the key. At the high school level, you don't want to go through 100 bats.
Sure. There's Wimpy's famous line that we will not repeat here, but it's difficult to get good wood bats, is the way he meant. Nice block by Tresniak. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
These kids have played 13 innings of ball today, and Trosniak is still bouncing around back there.
Second and third, nobody out. 8-2 ball game for Edwardsville, and Edwardsville looking for more here. C.J. Hunt trying to close the door. He's got a base to put, Seibert, but when you look at who's in the on-deck circle, you don't want to give him any more advantage than you can. Matt Evers, who's got 2 home runs in this tournament, including a grand slam. Again, foul off right side. Incoming. Just a little part of the show here at Elstrom Stadium. Nobody out. Second and third. And that one over the second baseman's head. 2 runs will score. It's 10-2. Rounding first and holding on is Seibert. 2 runs batted in for him. And Edwardsville is salting this one away.
Mike, when you see the infield end, your eyes light up. And he just got a pitch down in the zone. And with the infield in, all you got to do is hit it on the ground somewhere, and you got a good chance. And Bogle and Opal both score. And you got the big follow up now.
Here's Matt Evers. 1 for 3, and that was a home run. And once again, we'll have a pitching change. Garrett Jones coming in. We'll tell you about him in a minute. 10-2, Edwardsville. Well, there's your new pitcher coming in from left field, Garrett Jones. Again, minimal experience on the mound, but he's done it effectively when he's done it. 4 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, only a couple of walks. So there's Garrett. And Pignatello comes back out of the dugout under the, what do you call it, the resurfacing rule, re-entry rule. And he goes out to left field, so Brett is there. And Jones comes on to pitch. And he will face Matt Evers. There's Pignatello out there. Brett takes a position now. He started the game as the DH, came in to pitch, and now he's in left field.
He's amphibious. He can do it all. Is that the one?
It'll work. That's great. Here's Evers. Looking to the lefty for the first time. Tresniak, as bad as it may be, it looks like he's having a good time. I mean, he's, as you said, that's the toughest position to play, especially when you're catching 3 games in a day and a half.
What a gamer. Took that right off the coconut.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone, his head's ringing right now. And that's, boy, he took that one square.
Maybe that's why he's smiling. There we go. We're going to work on the signs. Now, of course, the 10-run rule is in effect here, which means after the 5th inning, if one team is ahead by 10 runs or more, the game ends. Edwardsville's got to score a couple more to make that happen. There's Matt Evers summary for today, and we told you in the quarterfinal he had a grand slam. Big home run here to right field. Big breaking pitch. Edwardsville, as we told you, the first undefeated team, well, trying to win a state title and go undefeated for the whole year since the A and AA. There's the pickoff move as the runner is caught. Did they get him? Yes, they do. Seibert is out. And how is he out? 1-3-6. Caught stealing, 1-3-6.
What a great pickoff move right there. And Dwyer did a great job of charging that ball, knowing that the runner, Seibert, is taken off and threw a strike to second base.
And that's only the first out of the inning. Beaver's still up now. Outside again.
It's amazing. Left-handers in the big leagues can hang around a long time if they got a great pickoff move. They come in a situation and pick somebody off.
Right up the middle base hit. Hit number 14 for the Thumpers from Edwardsville. Again, as we told you at the beginning of this telecast, trying to become the first team to go undefeated through the state tournament and all season long since, as far as IHSA records are kept. Now, this tournament goes back about 50 some odd years, but since they split A and AA in the mid-70s, only one other team has won, and that was the Roanoke Benson team from 1995. That was in Class A. No Class AA team has done it. Closest was the team from Edwardsville back in 1991, losing in the finals after being undefeated the entire season and much of the season before. They had a state record win streak of 64 straight games in 1990 and 91.
Baseball, that is unheard of.
Yeah. Wow. And there's another pickoff. Look out, Jones. A secret weapon, maybe a little late. And we know that was 1-6. 1-3-6. So 2 base hits, 2 outs.
Like pitchers never balk. Boy, but that was close to that 45-degree rule. And Dwyer threw a strike to Kozlowski. Great pickoff move by Jonesy.
And that was good throw by Dwyer. You got to get that line right. You don't want to hit, as you say, the batter or the runner on a coconut. So Jones has come in.
2/3 of an inning?
2/3 of an inning. 2 guys off the bases. Trying to remember who did that in Major League. Somebody gave up a base hit. This goes back about 70-something years. Babe Ruth, I think, gave up a hit that had to be pulled from the game after one batter. Next pitcher came in, picked that guy off, and then retired the next 26 man in a row. Didn't get credit for a perfect game, but, you know, it was a nice try. Don't ask me who that pitcher was.
Well, you were at the game.
I was there, yes. Actually, I was the bat boy. This is about 1909 or something. When did Babe Ruth come in? 1914, 15? I know that happened. You could look it up, Casey. The scoreboard has sort of deserted us here. Ball forward. Ball forward to James Hutton. So you know what's going to happen now. I think they're going to nail Jones's feet to first base. Hutton's feet to first base. Just stay there. Let the guy get up, all right? Okay, so we have 2 outs, 3 runs in. Could have been a heck of a lot worse if it weren't for the 2 pickoffs. And here is Matt Turner. Strike 1.
Good breaking ball right there.
No, we need our umpires counted. I had one this week, and you know I should have taken it with me. 0-1. To the pitcher. And Jones does the job. Well, 3 runs. 5 hits, no errors, 1 left. 10-2 Edwardsville. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, let's first go to Brandon Thompson.
All right, thanks, Mike. And when you think of baseball family, you think of the Griffeys, you think of the Outlaws. Perhaps you should add the Piaczek family to that list. Here's why.
Hi, my husband, Rich Piaczek, is the athletic director for Andrew High School, and my brother, Ken Jenkins, is the coach for Granville Putnam County. He took 4th place last weekend at the Class A tournament. We're hoping to take 1st place tonight.
So if both of these teams played against each other, who would you be rooting for?
Oh, I gotta go with my husband, Andrew High School.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, Brandon. Thank you.
And I was there last week for the Class A.
Yeah, I missed that this year. I just, how are things at Lanphier Park?
Outstanding.
How's the train? Right field, train. Yeah, every year I look forward to that. Unfortunately, couldn't make it down there this year, but I'll be back. James Hutton, now in his 6th inning of work to Nate Wright. Got a couple of quickies on him. Edwardsville looking for its 40th victory without a defeat. First team to win 40 games in the state in AA. Third to first, easy play from Matt Bogle over to Matt Evers.
Well, right now, Hutton is a bucket of ground balls, keeping that ball down, letting the ball work for him. His arm's a little tired. When your arm gets a little tired, your ball starts moving a little bit more. And if you keep the ball down, you get some good ground ball outs.
You know, Edwardsville, when they went 39-1, they get to the final, they're 39-0, and they're playing Thornton. Was it Thornton? Yeah, it was Thornton South Holland. Now you know who was the star of that team, right?
Mr. Floyd?
Yeah, Cliff Floyd. Tough break for him when he messed up his hand like that. It really set him back. Hope he can do okay with Florida now, right? Think
yeah,
the Marlins?
He'll be all right.
Terrific talent. Had some good ball players in this tournament. Danny Wilson, the Mariners, and Jason Imrasek, who is now playing in the Northern League. Pitched for Andrew in this championship game and won it back in 1992. His brother's here, his mom is here, his dad is here, and Jason was trying to make it, but he had a game tonight. He plays for Madison. Strike 3 and he's gone.
Hutton's really feeling it. That was good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Definitely good night.
Well, he's just hitting his spots. When you get tired, you just concentrate on that glove, and he is really burying the glove right now.
Jones just did not have a chance on that. Here's Todd Kozlowski. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 6th inning. Andrew down by 8. Well, Hutton's just throwing the ball right where he has to. There his numbers so far. 9 hits, a couple of earned runs. Both of them in the 1st inning. Got nothing off him. And you see that? No walks.
No walks. Damage control. He's given up 9 knocks. So he's had to pitch out of the stretch, but he's made the big pitches when they count.
Survived an error. Just outside.
I don't know how you could kill a ball like he is. I mean, that ball's about 50 miles an hour. He's got great arm action with it.
Backs him up. Fisher, not quite. There's a young man who's played a nice game.
Yes, I was just going to say that, Mike. He's done an outstanding job in handling Mr. Hutton. And it's never any fun when you're playing the field and you don't get to rake. But you got to really tip your cap.
Well, and you know, because when Hutton is not pitching, he's catching. He catches his brother Ben, and Ben, of course, who pitched earlier and won, 16-0. But his arm was used up. They weren't going to go with him unless they absolutely had to, and his twin brother's doing just fine. Thank you. 3 up and 3 down. One more shot for Andrew. But Edwardsville's got it. 1 inning away from a state championship. They lead at 10-2. Edwardsville 10, Andrew 2. That's the story as we go to the 7th and final inning, or what's supposed to be the final inning.
We've got Mr. Kozlowski on the hill for Andrew, big right-hander. You know, at this point, Mike, you just go out there, and if you've got a fresh arm, you throw him out there. I'm sorry, not Kozlowski.
It's Dolkowski. Yeah, it's Dolkowski, who is a new addition to this team. And no stats on him, but brought up from the sophomore team, I believe. Mark Dolkowski is the new pitcher.
Reminds me of Harry Carey in spring training. He used to hate those spring training games when somebody from AA comes up in the spring training game with no name on his back.
Right.
And he's just guessing who's pitching out there.
Oh, right. That was just, it was always a pleasure.
It was beautiful.
Always a pleasure.
Sorely missed.
Andrew Honegger is up, the second baseman, who's got a hit today in 3 tries with a sacrifice, so officially he's 1 for 2.
Well, all these kids have got great arms.
And let's see, pinch hitter set up there by Tom Pyle. Hansel, the second baseman. Okay, he is Tim Hansel, a junior, 5'10", splits the time with Honegger over at second base. Gets an AB here, and he goes the opposite way. Just foul.
Great hustle right there by Big Natello. Boy, these guys are still playing so hard out there.
Hansel at 219.
You know, just a great jump right there, and just
whoops,
darn near got it. Hansel needs to dial it up right here.
Yeah.
He's a little behind on that fastball, number 1.
Hansel with 8 hits, 242 average, 3 doubles. And in the dirt. And those 9 ribbies you see. Hansel and Honegger, as we said, split the job most of the season, as Coach Tom Pyle said, whoever practices better is the one who usually start. And he rung him up.
That was a great piece of pitching there. Dolkowski threw him a curveball the pitch before, and then just paints him on the outside corner with a good fastball. Had good life on that ball.
Welcome to the state championships, Mark. You did your job. And here's Corey Kuba, who's done his with a walk and base hit and a couple of runs scored. Struck out his last time. Done a lot of damage for a 9th place hitter.
You know, this whole lineup, Mike, as you mentioned, is just strong up and down the order.
10-2 the score. The scoreboard has now given up for the evening. I don't know what it's doing. We'll show it to you. After this pitch, we'll take a look at it because I think it's like a slot machine with a bad rash. Okay. What does that mean? I don't know. There it is. Okay.
Looks like I'm pitching.
That's good. I like that one better.
A lot of crooked numbers up there.
Oh, gosh. Strike to Kuba. Last of the 7th inning coming up. They'll start with the bottom of the order for Andrew. Kuba walks. And scheduled up is Crothers. And Dave will hit. Singleton scored his last time. 2 for 3 officially, has a walk. Frank Ganser, not his night tonight, but what a season they have had. We're talking about Edwardsville being undefeated. Frank Ganser, 35 and 3. That's not shabby. Won 22 in a row to start the season. Lost a couple to Lockport and came back. Finished with a 19-game win streak. That's okay. We'll take that.
Great season, and those south suburbs have some great high school teams. There is a ton of talent down there.
And for those of you in Brad Stern's family, there's a good shot of your guy.
What a job he's done behind the plate.
He's been there. Made him hit it. Strike one to Crothers.
If you go unnoticed in blue, you've done a great job. He really has. The whole umpiring crew.
Ground to short. The easy hop. One. Not in time at second base. Nicely handled here by Todd Kozlowski.
Well, CJ did a good job of turning. Stayed in there.
Kablusik's in there now, I believe. Or is CJ back there? No, it's Kablusik.
He was going in hard at second base, and CJ stayed in there and threw a strike.
Yep, CJ is back. There he is. Number 3.
What re-entry.
Yep, had his return to the mound. And let's see. Going in, let's give credit where credit is due. Number 7, Ryan Peterson. He's going in to run. Peterson, a junior, 6'4". They got some big guys coming back.
It's a baseball machine down there.
Yes, sirree.
Mike, how's your scorecard looking?
It's looking like my son's math paper. Oh, boy. Here's Matt Bogle. Yes, sirree. It's got all those crossouts and scratches and arrows. Strike.
Bogle's done a great job on that. He gets that inside pitch. He really rifles it to left field. They're going away.
Whoops. Time here. Let's see what's going on. Just to get everybody set. For strike 3. So Dolkowski did his job. No runs, no hits. There was a walk, 1 left. Okay, do or die for Andrew now. They've got a big hill to climb. It's 10-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Well, last call for Andrew again, bottom of the 7th, which is the last scheduled inning here in high school championship play. And the T-Bolts will send up a pinch hitter, Scott Naraki, number 39, the brother of Keith Naraki, who started this game, of course, on the mound. Naraki, a junior, 5'11". Facing James Hutton. He's gone all the way, given up 9 hits, hasn't walked a batter, and hasn't given up a run since the first inning. Naraki, 0-1. Working quickly, 1-2.
He's feeling it. Everything is down in the zone.
Got Naraki 2 doubles, 4 runs batted in, and a triple. Opal handles it, run away. And here is Tim Kozlowski, 2 outs to go, and what a job James Hutton has done on the mound. They knew they could hit. Question was, did they have enough arms?
I don't think you could anticipate him having such a great game, especially with his limited experience on the mound. But Tom Pyle went right at him. Without a doubt, he was going to go with James Hutton tonight.
Special thanks, by the way, while we have a minute, to our friends over here at the Sports Complex at Elstrom Stadium, the Kane County Event Center, especially Jeff Sedevy, who's the general manager of the Cougars. It's always great to be out here, and there's a look at Elstrom Stadium. This time next year, it's going to have an upper deck. They're putting a deck on this place. Seat about 10,000, but the good news is the lawn down the outfield foul lines will still be there. So you can bring your beach chairs, bring your picnic lunch, and you can come on out here and have a great time and watch the Cougars play.
Mike, this is a wonderful place to watch a minor game. Where was this type of place when I was in A-ball? This is unheard of.
You pitched in A-ball for quite some time.
Yes, I did.
I understand. I understand. I understand.
Yeah, Jeff Sedevy does a great job here with the Kane County Cougars.
1 out to go for an undefeated season, a state title, and 40 victories.
Just great rhythm right now. Fastball down in the zone. And he tastes the end of this game. Right on it. Kozlowski was right on it. Head down, hands back. Put a good swing on it.
Opal, not this time. Would have been a tough play for him because certainly CJ can run.
Yeah, and this ball actually took a funky hop. Fastball up in the zone, got on top of it, but Opal just hit that lip, and he took his eye off for that split second, couldn't find the ears.
See if we get the hitter or the error call. Not that it matters at this point. And here's Tresniak. They give the error to Opal. And Tresniak takes it up high. 2 outs, 8 runs down. Hutton trying to close the door. Tresniak's second hit of the night, and here is Rhett Dwyer.
Tresniak is fun to watch. Only a junior coming back next year. He is going to be a draft pick next year. Take a changeup up in the zone, stayed back, recognized it early, and was able to fight it off and just hammered it to center field.
Took it off his fist. And here's a draft pick this year, maybe, Rhett Dwyer. 2 men on, 2 out. Last of the 7th. Pyle, of course, would like to see James Hutton finish. Although he did pull this pitcher in the semifinal with 1 out to go in a very comfortable game. Said he had a fresh arm, and the pitcher who came in was James Hutton, who got the save. Just took something off of that one.
At this point in the ball game with your arm hanging, you may want to throw that changeup. This is a great changeup. Great arm motion, completely fools Dwyer.
Oh, he's so far ahead of that one.
Could have swung twice. Dwyer's a great hitter.
Hope we'll have another shot. He's got it. It's over. Undefeated, 40 victories, history. The Tigers have roared, and they didn't stop from game 1. They are the champions. 10-2. Somewhere under there is James Hutton. And what a job he did. What a job they all did, but especially their stopgap pitcher. A complete game victory. 6 shutout innings, gave up a couple of runs in the first. Nice haircut there, number 1. You see, oh, geez. Oh, Mom, how could you do that? How could you let him do that? Here's the coach, Tom Pyle, with a big hug for his shortstop, Chad Opel. We'll be back for the award ceremony. Way to go, Tigers. Well, your new state champion in Class AA has just been crowned here in Illinois. The Edwardsville Tigers, let me tell you something, they whipped through this tournament. The toughest game they had was against Simeon, the public league champion. And when this tournament started, of course, we up here in the Chicago area get pretty jaded thinking that we've got, you know, all the good teams. But when they come up from downstate with that kind of a reputation at Edwardsville, oh, they're undefeated. And the folks up here sometimes say, well, you know, what does that mean? Well, they found out exactly what that means. They took number 1 Oak Park like a hot knife through butter, turning it 14-4. Then beat Simeon. And then they came here against a very, very tough Andrew team and dominated.
Yes,
just dominated.
And you really got to tip your hat to Coach Tom Pyle, who's been there a ton of years, and it's just a great baseball program. These kids love to play, and you really got to tip your hat also to Andrew, who, you know, although they lost tonight, really put up a good battle throughout this tournament. They got some kids that are fun to watch.
Yeah, and some of them will be back. I mean, for Edwardsville, you know, they've got their another trip into the finals. They won it back in 1990, came in second in 1991, again when they came in undefeated and lost in the final to Thornton. And Andrew, meanwhile, was in it won back in 92 and was in the tournament last year and again this year and coming in second. So they have done a marvelous job on their own, and they'll have some stars back.
Yes, they will.
Just talking to Tom Pyle is an experience. I mean, this guy is, as you look at Darrell Butler, who's a longtime first base coach over there. Tom Pyle was an Army sergeant in Vietnam, was in the Tet Offensive. He says he uses Army discipline, grew up on a farm. Said, I use farm discipline on these kids. So what do you mean? I said, well, he said, when you grow up on a farm, there are things you know you got to do. And these kids know that there are things expected of them, and they respond. And they come up here and show what they have, and they have plenty. The awards are just about to be given out by the Illinois High School Association. Our thanks to our good friend Jim Flynn, of course, David Fry. And Jim runs this tournament.
Boy, both last week and this week, just tremendously run tournaments. Starting at the Thursday night, the hitting contest, and all the way up to tonight.
Yep. There you see the teams along the respective foul lines. And they will each be given their medals and team trophies. Think about all the teams in the state, what, 300-400, right?
What a feat. And it's such a long haul, Mike, and you've got to have horses. You've got to have a pitching staff.
I mean, the format, you know, is so much pressure. You're playing so many games in such a small space, and oftentimes the weather is so iffy where you get rainouts and rain delays, and it wasn't too bad this year. I think a couple of the sectional finals were postponed,
and sometimes that helps a club because then you can bring a pitcher back, you know, on 2 days rest as opposed to 1 day rest.
Yeah, you have a lot of bionic arms at this level. And you have to really credit Keith Naraki. He, as we said, he pitched in the quarterfinal, won that, pitched the sectional final, won that, both complete or near complete games. He said, I want the ball. You know, he's the hoss on this team, and they gave him the ball. He tried to make it go, but you know, when you go up against a team like Edwardsville, as good as you may be, if it isn't all there, you'll pay.
Yes, you will. And yeah, that was just a gutsy effort on his part. And that's really unheard of, to pitch 6 innings the day before and then go out there. Usually, if you pitch 6 innings one day, the manager or the coach the next day says, hey, put your tennis shoes on. Don't even sniff the field.
Right. Andrew getting medals now for the second place finish. There's Nick Tresniak getting his. It's
Number 9, Garrett Jones.
But what a well-coached club.
Yeah.
Coach Ganser does a tremendous job with Andrew.
Matt Eichhorn.
think of all the experience. So many of the baseball coaches have been at their respective posts for 20 years and more. Yeah. Jack Kaiser at Oak Park, 36 years, 46 years.
You know, this tournament has been a great story with Coach Kaiser and also Kobe Smith of Barrington.
Smith, yeah.
This being his last year as a head coach at Barrington, and you know, I'm sure Kobe Smith would have loved to have been in this championship game to go out, but at the same time, Barrington had a wonderful year also.
Andrew defeating Barrington in the semifinal 5-2. And Simeon finished fourth in the tournament. Barrington finished third, winning the consolation game over Simeon.
Well, Simeon's got some players.
Yeah, they got some players, and they also did a great job in the Public League Championship against Clemente. 3-2, 11-inning ball game. Boy, that was thrilling.
They have a kid at shortstop, Dennis Butler, that can play.
Oh, they got a kid in center field, pretty good too.
Yes, he can play too.
Yeah. And now the champions are getting theirs. A long trip up from downstate near St. Louis, well worth it. Taking home a lot of hardware. Tom Pyle, Ed Hightower, there you see him. Pyle, number 23. He's got that glove on, yeah. After the semifinal, he said, "Bring on the Cardinals." And what's the matter with him? Of course, they live down near St. Louis, so you can excuse him for that. Tom is a history teacher, well respected and eminently quotable. We'll find out when we talk to him if we have time.
Well, he's got the Hutton brothers in class, and apparently they have a 33 on their ACT.
Yeah.
What did Tom say, that us three combined don't total 33?
Told him to speak for himself. Well, they may be a good team, but I got to tell you, there are some bad haircuts, and there it is. Oh, my.
The players. Number 1, Chad Opal.
Whatever it takes, though, Mike.
You know, if Chad's going to do that, I guess he can do anything he wants. Chad Opal with that beautiful haircut.
Number 3, Ben Hutton. Number 4, Andrew Honiger.
And there he is. There's a happy Honiger right there.
Number 7, Ryan Peterson.
Ryan Peterson went into pinch run late in the game.
Number 9, Justin Hampson.
Justin Hampson pitched. He pitched the semifinal win. Pitched beautifully.
Mike, he was nasty in that semifinal game.
All right, nasty, beautifully. Go ahead.
Filthy. He was filthy.
He was just mean. Threw some nasty junk up there.
Great fastball, great changeup.
And he didn't throw the fastball. He said, you know, that Tom Pyle said to us, Simeon, they didn't sit on fastball, so he just threw it off speed stuff the whole game. Pitched 6 2/3. Gave up 1 run.
I asked Pyle about it, you know, his changeup. I said, what are you asking me for? I'll talk to Waldo.
Yeah.
Waldo does a great job, and a couple of these guys really do have good changeups.
Just think they have all summer long to grow their hair back. and you know what's worse, they can. Yeah, it is. It's a terrific time to tell your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, anybody who will listen about this.
Number 31, Chris Johnson. Number 33, Ben.
You know, people forget we are so jaded by major league players on all levels, not just baseball. When you see what it means to these kids, most of whom will have played their last real organized game, this is it. A few will go on maybe to college or some form, maybe 1 or 2. Or, you know, and we've had them in this tournament get a shot at the pros and do well. You know. But most of them, this is it. And this is, to use the cliche, what it is about. And it's just terrific. It's wonderful.
You know, I think if you were to ask somebody like Dan Wilson, who's had a tremendous major league career, what one of his greatest memories was, and it's playing in this game right here.
Yeah, you don't think it was that last contract for about 7 months? Yeah, realism has to encroach here sometimes, Dave. There's Andrew with the second place trophy. The Thunderbolts have thundered. They just ran out of boom here against a very, very special team.
And this is not the last you're going to see of Tresniak and also Red Dwyer. Both of those guys can flat out play. Red Dwyer, a senior, will go on probably to college somewhere.
And here he may be going on and on. Wait till Rich Jones gets a hold of him. But I don't know if that's the publication yet, so I didn't say anything. Happy bunch of Tigers. Okay, we've got the coach warming up in the bullpen. We'll be back to hear from Tom Pyle. Well, here's our Pepsi play of the game, coming in the very first inning with 2 outs and a bunch of folks aboard the pitcher. James Hutton with a 2-out smack to center field, scores the first 2 runs of the ball game. And the Tigers were ahead to stay. Our Pepsi play of the game. Okay, let's turn it over to Brandon Thompson, who is going to have the experience of his young life right here, talking to Tom Pyle. If you can get him, Tom, you're on the air, and Brandon, good luck.
All right, Coach, first of all, I want to say congratulations on your perfect 40-0 season. What were the thoughts running through your mind as that last stop was made?
Unbelievable. I would just, you know, what are you going to do? 40-0, a lot of pressure on us. Everything was there. You know, we played a great team, a great tournament. The hosts were super. The surrounding communities were super. It was just a great experience for my boys.
Is this the highlight of your coaching career?
It's my last game. It's like hitting a hole-in-one. You don't have to play any more golf once you got a hole-in-one. Well, we won undefeated. We ought to be #1 in the nation. We are in one paper. We might be in USA Today. You ain't going to get any better than this.
No more better. Congratulations, Coach.
Okay, Brandon.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. You see, you get a little dose of Tom. He was just warming up there. He was just too emotional. Anyway, that just about does it from here. You saw the totals, 10, 14, and 3 for Edwardsville, 2, 10, and 1 for Andrew. Our thanks to everybody here at the Kane County Event Center, the Sports Complex, our crew from Trio Video, and of course the IHSA. For my partners, Dave Otto, Brandon Thompson, and our entire crew, is it time to go? Not yet. Okay, we'll just wait just a bit, because there's still some field activity. They're not playing Happy Trails, are they, Dave?
No,
You know, he's talking about what Tom Pyle said. They are rated #1 in one publication, and you know, I don't know where you go with that, but that is something. I mean, you've got a team here in a cold weather state that's as good as it is, and we saw reasons why. They are solid from the top to the bottom of the lineup.
yeah, they are. And James Hutton, what a job he did. I mean, 7-0 going into this game, and then comes up big. You know, and then you got another stud, Ben Hutton, his brother, who can also throw the ball. But James Hutton really, and you know, we saw the Pepsi play of the game where he just stuck that ball into center field, gave them the lead, and they never relinquished it.
Okay, as the Elfstrom Orchestra strikes up Happy Trails to you, I guess that will be our cue as well. We hope you've enjoyed this one. There's the trophy. There are the championships. Undefeated Edwardsville, 40-0, made history in the state of Illinois tonight for the IHSA. So, for my partners, Dave Otto, Brandon Thompson, and our entire crew, this is Mike Liederman saying so long from Elfstrom Stadium here. Final score once again, the Class AA champions, Edwardsville 10, Andrew 2. Coming up next, it's Fox Sports News, so stay right here. You've been watching IHSA Baseball on Fox Sports Chicago, your home of Fox Sports Net. Good night, everybody.